listen to him on television, and the man still impresses me. When I listen to him talk, I just, for some reason, if you look in the phone book in St. Louis, how many attorneys are in there? How would somebody know how to pick an attorney? You don't. If it wasn't for sticking in my mind his
I would
presentation
never ever have known
their law firm
who to get.
and what it is. I never knew that their law firm was this big.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, was it, I mean, you said a lot of nice things about them. You mentioned that they treated you like family. You mentioned that they didn't tell you what to do. They worked around.
They worked with us.
Yeah, worked with you.
Seemed like we were all a team.
Okay. What do you think was the most important thing, or the most, stay on the two shot, the most impressive thing, if you will, about them?
Well, the most impressive thing to me is the legal secretary, which was Sally Phillips at that time, that handled this. She kept records together so good here at Mr. Brown and Crouppen's office. If she had questions, she would call me. If she had a medical bill that she didn't have a copy of and I had, she would call me. And she would get information from me, just like that, just the teamwork of the Brown and Crouppen Corporation is just fabulous.
They just stayed on top of it, you know.
And I don't know if other people have had this rapport with them, but if they had a question about anything, when to do the deposition, what time, they didn't call us and say, we're going to do it tomorrow, we're going to do it Friday. They'd ask us, when can we do it? I mean, I felt so comfortable being with them. And I don't down other attorneys, or because I've never had one, but I've heard some things from other people where attorneys can get pretty, they can be pushy in what they want to do.
Yeah.
And it seems like they want to jump in and settle a case and get it settled right away. This didn't happen here. I mean, one thing that we were told is that we're in no hurry. And I told them the same thing. I said, I'm in no hurry. I mean, I told him, it's I'll never be the same in my life again. Will I ever be the same? They done everything in the world that they could for Verna and myself, and I have so much respect for Mr. Brown and Mr. Crouppen and Michael Swafford. Michael Swafford is still here with them. He's a very good trial attorney, and he knows his business, and that's it. They just seem to know their business.
You have a wire on top of your hand. There you go. Would the two of you feel comfortable referring somebody else to Brown and Crouppen?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, yes.
Definitely. Would be no doubt in my mind.
So, to put this into a sentence, if somebody needed a lawyer, like you needed a lawyer, who would you tell them to call?
I would tell them to call Mr. Brown and Crouppen, and I would personally come down here with them if they wanted me to.
How about if somebody needed a lawyer, there's no doubt in my mind they should call Brown and Crouppen. Would you feel comfortable saying that?
Very much.
Would
Yes.
you say that then?
Huh?
Then say it.
Yes, I would feel.
Say if somebody needed a lawyer.
If anybody that I know would need a lawyer, I would very much advise them to go to Brown and Crouppen, because it's one of the best experience that I ever had in my life, and I made the right decision by picking the law firm from listening to Mr. Crouppen do his advertisement on television, and just stuck in my head. And Vernon never knew their phone number. I never knew their phone number. But there's a lot of attorneys that do a commercial on television.
Yeah.
Not a bunch, but there's a lot. But none of them impressed or speak the way that Mr. Crouppen does, and it just so much impressed me when she asked me, who should I get? There was no hesitation. I said, call Mr. Brown and Crouppen. And I definitely would refer them, anybody that I know that would need an attorney, to Brown and Crouppen.
Good. I think I've got enough. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, all I was going to say is that I would recommend him over and over and over again, you know, to anybody that needed an attorney, because they were just wonderful. I mean, you know, they were just like part of the family, and they treated us with such great, you know, such great respect. I mean, you know, even though we don't know too much about the law, but they just treated us so just so great. And the trial lawyer that they assigned to us, this Michael Swalward, we just got along terrific with him. You know, it was just, you know how when you meet two people and you either get along or you don't? Well, we just went just like that together, you know. And he's just a wonderful man too. But the whole law firm is. I mean, from the secretaries, they all knew us, and everybody, you know, they just treated us wonderful.
They kept
We appreciate
they kept
that.
right on top of everything, and we were included on everything. We were not excluded on anything. If they were going to do something that, I'll get this out in a minute. My voice gave out. If they were going to do something that pertained to the case, they would call us, and they would say, what do you think? We're going to do this. You want it handled this way, or would there be a different way that you would like to do it, or whatever? It's just, I've never had such a great experience as what I had with the Brown and Crouppen.
You think in 3 years of a case dragging on, maybe you get lost in the shuffle, or they'd put you on the back burner, or, you know, there'd be lapses of communication, that kind of thing, but that never happened?
Never happened. And the main thing that my doctors had told me was to keep my mind busy. And their secretary, Mr. Brown's secretary, would even send me information of what's going on, and I still have a complete file of that. I kept a whole complete file of the case on my own, and that really gave me something to do, because being laid up that long is kind of hard on a person. And I at least I was able to keep my mind, you know,
He
going
was
good.
able to keep his mind busy because I took briefcases up there. He had a whole hospital room, you know, everything. But I really, you know, at first, because I have had no experience with attorneys, but at first I thought, well, yeah, boy, you know, this is really gonna, you know, really gonna take some time, and but they just kept busy on it, you know, and like Jim said, and I really have to respect them, really respect them, because, you know, it wasn't what they wanted, it was what we wanted, and the time that we could, you know, because he was still being operated on. And so, you know, it made me feel good, you know. But I did tell Jim, I said, oh, I don't know, this is going to take, you know, maybe 10 years. but it just turned out just beautiful. It really did. It turned out beautiful. A beautiful experience for me, you know, for Jim and I.
How they did such a great job in the short of time that they did do.
Right.
I'll never know. But they did. And I feel that they did that in a short time, because a case of the magnitude that mine was sometimes could go on for 10 years or longer, and that didn't happen. They did fabulous. You know, I just, when you go to a hospital and you're in there, you're paying the hospital, you expect that nurse to be in there and take care of you the way you should be taken care of. And that's the way I felt with Mr. Brown and Mr. Crouppen, is that we were their clients. They took care of us.
They sure did.
They took care of us just fabulous.
Great. Thanks. That's it.
Okay.